Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. So I was talking to a guy the other day about something that I think is sort of a common narrative here on Morning News Beat. The need for traceability, trackability, and transparency. And we were talking about this, and one of the things this guy did is he suggested that I take a look at a complaint that had been filed with the FTC. And it was filed with the FTC by an organization called the Alliance for American Manufacturing. And basically what the complaint says is that this company, a company called Element Electronics, and Element Electronics makes these TVs, and the boxes all say made or assembled in the United States, and the TVs are sold in places like Walmart and Target and Sam's Club. But basically what the complaint says is, they're not really assembled or made here in the United States. They actually make them in China, largely out of Chinese parts, on factory equipment that's made in China. And they do the whole thing. Then they ship them to the United States. And then in the United States, what the accusation says is they unscrew the back, they throw in a motherboard, they screw the thing back on, and then they say it's assembled here in the United States. Now, listen, that's what the charge says, that's what the complaint says. It's still under review by the FTC. But regardless, I think this serves as a really good cautionary note for companies throughout the supply chain, right? Whether you're a vendor, supplier, retailer, it doesn't really matter. It really is a cautionary note. You have to know where products are coming from. You have to know what's in the products you sell. I just think that that's absolutely a minimum requirement these days, no matter what kind of store you are and no matter what kind of products you sell. It is that simple. And if you don't have the information, you don't provide the information to consumers or, frankly, regulators in a timely fashion, you could find yourself in real trouble. And this cuts across in a lot of different categories. I mean, in this particular case, it's about that products being made in the USA. Okay, they're keeping an eye on things like that. It can have to do with products that are organic or have GMOs. It certainly is playing out in the food safety system, where the Food Safety Modernization Act is going to put new impetus and new requirements on retailers and manufacturers and even farmers to be able to provide information on virtually a moment's notice in terms of where products are coming from and how they've been made and how they've been kept safe. Listen, I think it even applies to things like, the nutritional supplement industry. That's what's playing out in New York right now. The accusation is the products don't have in them what the labels say they have in them. And listen, at some level, I think you can make the argument that's what's playing out in the Brian Williams controversy right now. If you say things are a certain way and they end up not being a certain way, you put your brand at risk. You put your business at risk, and that's something that companies cannot afford to do. It's not just about risk management in terms of these specific areas. It really has to do with the larger brand. It has to do with brand equity and making sure that you do what you need to do in order to preserve it. That is incredibly important. It's all about trackability, it's all about traceability, and it's all about transparency. To my mind, these are minimum requirements in 2015 and beyond. And the thing is, if you don't provide the information, there are a lot of divergent voices out there that will. And you lose control of the narrative. So you got to understand the narrative, and then you have to tell the narrative in a truthful and accurate way. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard, but for a lot of companies it will be. But again, a minimum requirement for being successful and for having any sort of integrity in 2015, doing business at this time, in this particular climate. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this Thursday morning, and as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.